Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Crisis 169 coming to you with pretty much of emergency video live stream. I'm trying to make a video, upload it, but damn microphone work with the camera for some reason, and I don't like talking to a camera microphone. I'll do it next time, but yeah, I should be on vacation, should be enjoying myself, but really I'm not because I'm hearing words. I'm going to talk to some people online. So some video I watched too as well that the RAM crisis could be going through 2027, 2028. RAM VRAM issues. Think about it. Think of a time where we had the chip shortages. This is going to precede that. This could very well precede the chip shortages. Now, you can love Trump, hate Trump, what do you want to call him? I don't care. Love what you want, hate him, whatever. But building plants here, want to build some RAM plants here. Hi guys, wait up bedtime. I woke up 8 this morning. I should be in bed by now. I've been thinking about this all day long. I went with friends for a pre-Christmas party, eat party at Dave and Buster's earlier today, and should have gone home, gone to bed, but I didn't because I want to hang with friends. Because the only time we get together is around Christmas, New Year's. Because they're both truck, and a few more truck drivers of that, so they're not really home a lot. So when they get home, it's pretty cool. But anyway, though, that's here and there. Um, the point being is this, though. The VRAM issue, the RAM issue. Yeah, I know, guy. I told I'll be on vacation. I'm trying to go on vacation, but this stuff is bothering me for the last couple of hours. Like I said, now I was in a friend, I was Dave Buster's, a friend, a Christmas party thing we're doing. Friends and I were doing, have a good time, and this popped up on my phone saying, RAM shortage could be 2027, 2028 until it actually is somewhat resolved or longer. And a comment of my video, one guy did. Sorry, guys. Comment in my video, one guy did. I'll just go back to console gaming. And I ain't trying to make fun of people, call anybody dumb or anything, but you do know that consoles, require RAM, right? You do know they require VRAM too. This is not 2001, my guy. We're not 2001. We're not 1990. No, we're not in 2000. The PS2 is long gone. Okay, that gaming platform is gone. Gaming nowadays, sorry guys, that gaming nowadays requires more and more RAM for games. Consoles require as much RAM. Merry Christmas boxing. Yeah, I was supposed to be off today, but I had this. I was in Dave and Buster's friends for a Christmas party with friends. A kind of makeshift one, kind of out of come to Christmas party. Yeah, sure, I go up there and I go win. I don't spend like an hour up there, not very long. But anyway though, and we had this. We're all kind of geeks. A lot of my friends are truck drivers, so they drive around from normally here, Christmas and New Year's. But anyway though, that's long at here and there. Like I said, it's here and there earlier. The point being is this though: if you're a if you're gonna go back to consoles because you're tired of paying $600 for RAM, you do know you're gonna pay $900 for that console, right? That's already outdated about 3 years, 2 years. You do know that you're gonna be paying more money for something that's inferior, and you're gonna be hooked into their ecosystem where you can't escape. You can't go. I'm gonna upgrade this. You can't upgrade anything. You are bound by your overlord console manufacturers. And what happens if NVIDIA and AMD, who are working with Microsoft and Sony, say, you know what? We're going to yoink that RAM out of your hands and you give it to our AI a la masters. Guess what happens then? The consoles come short too. See, I bought my 5060 Ti 16 gig at the right time because now they're talking about, temporary halting production or slowing down production of the Ti 16 gig. And only making room for the 8 gigs. By the way, they're not selling very well. The 8 GB ain't selling very well. The 5070s, 12 gig ain't selling well either. Go figure. 5070, no, something with a 70 on it from the series of in GeForce, NVIDIA ain't selling very well. Go figure. Because the 3070 was still a hotcake when you could find the damn thing. And it was a thoroughbred graphics card. I still stand by it today, but it's old and outdated. But, but, the 3070 had limitations. But the 8 GB cards, you can always upgrade those, like I did mine. Granted, mine's a lot small. It's still long. It's smaller than the 3070. Has better power consumption. It gives me about 10, 20 frames more than the 3070, but at a cost of the fact that there's certain old games I can't play on a 50 series card. I'm not playing 30-year-old games, guys. If I am, no, go buy a retro console, do that. Retron 5 or whatever, like that. That's old school stuff, by the way. For you kids don't know. For you us who are 40 years older, we kind of know what we're talking about. But the RAM issues, guys, are not going to go away anytime soon. I fear. I think the biggest issue now we have to hold on now. And my point is this: um, if you are going to build PC, do it now than later. I say that because there is writing on the wall. Certain people I talk to online. I probably met some people online. Did you know, the J2 cents of the world? People who have a lot more knowledge, a lot more views. Not J2 cents personally, but people who are like him, and horror unboxing. People like them who are not as big as they are, but who have followers, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers. And I asked them different ones, and I asked them point blank questions. Do you think the RAM shortage are going to be in anytime soon? How long do you think? 2 years? 4 years? I got one message from one guy about maybe about 7 hours ago saying 2 years. 2 years would be minimum if we're lucky. And exact words: 2 years are minimum if we're lucky. And we talked a little bit, chatted back and forth a little bit. I messaging, private messaging each other, on YouTube, and now I gave him my Facebook user, and he gave me. So we started talking on Messenger and stuff a little bit, and it's like this has to stop eventually. There's got to be somewhat of still, the net has to be pulled up eventually for us to bounce back up. Because you know how acrobatic people jump off those little hooks and stuff, and they grab each other. If they slip, they fall into a net. Well, what NVIDIA is doing is taking the net away and dropping the net completely down. So if you fall, you hit the ground. There's no net to support you, and the net is being the bottom of this RAM issue, or graphic issue, or chip issue that has happened over the years. I believe, guys, in the next couple years, if you ain't got a PC game right now, I believe in a couple years it's going to get harder and harder to find RAM. NVIDIA now is taking RAM out of their, partner cards and shipping just the bodies themselves, the cards. And I can't use my card demo because I won't be able to broadcast. But the card itself, the graphics card, the one I have in my rig right now, the 56 Ti 16 gig. I love it to death. It's a great card. um, that thing right there has the components, the chips, die. Well, NVIDIA is taking that away from their partners and forcing the partners to deal with peons like us to find manufacturers to put in all of that stuff. The copper tubing, the dies, the chipset, all this stuff. And you know what's going to happen to that? Yeah, these companies can do it, but guess what's going to happen to you? You're practically handing them your wallet. Because they're going to break open the wallet and they take all that juicy money you got in your account. They're take it all and rip it out of your wallet. That's all they're going to be doing, and they'll smack you in the back of the head when they do it. Because that right there is showing me when I've read that and heard that. Um, when I read and heard that for the first time, and I think it was Monday, I realized we have a serious problem. We have a serious problem here. There's, you know, Houston, we got a problem. You bet your ass we got a problem. It's called greediness. These AI companies now are making all this money. Now, NVIDIA is making $100 billion easy off these data centers. And a lot of these companies now are being told not to buy supplies from China. That's why the Trump administration is trying to build silicon factories here to make chips, to make RAM here. Why? Because make it here, we sell it out there for more money. Boost economy. Granted, that's cool and all, but if you're a PC gamer like I am, you guys watching my channel are, it doesn't help the fact that when we're giving all these RAM, all these AI contracts, people in the White House to a certain son-in-law to the person who is the commander, all these people, different countries, Saudi Arabia, and countries around the world, we're giving all these contracts to AI stuff. Meanwhile, the gamers, us fat and people who are not fat, gamers are suffering. Granted, now I got my 5070, my 56 Ti 16 gig right when I needed to get it. I tell you the thing, I love the thing, I love the death. I love playing Battlefield 6 and Overkill graphics. I love it. It's beautiful. It looks awesome. My 165 hertz 2K 34-inch monitor runs beautiful with this card. So it's great. The problem is now is that if you didn't jump on the bandwagon to buy a card now, you're going to be fighting and clawing to get one. I guarantee a lot of people put on Santa Claus Christmas list for a graphics card and a RAM. A lot of kids are going to keep waking up with 8 gigabyte 1650 60s. And yeah, it's better, but it's not go future proof you. Oh, 1080p game, 1080p gaming, guys. You 1080p gaming, even Toasty Bros, 1080p gaming may be coming to an end in the next future or so. Eventually, companies want to move on from the resolutions. You remember, 4DI, 480p, 720i, 720p, 10ei, 1080p, 1440i, 1440p. Eventually, guys, we push up. 1080p is becoming the new 720, where it's going to be, yes, certain games will still support it, certain Blu-ray players still support it. You can still do this, that, and there, but eventually it's going to be phased out, like 720p was, like 40p was. So that being said, do I feel it's going to happen quickly? I think technology is going to go a lot faster now with AI, and so we're going to see a lot more people running to get on the AI bandwagon. But do I think it's going to be crushing jobs and destroying people's lives? No, I think it's going to be something good to use for medical research. Hopefully, maybe you can program the first nanites, AI nanites, to fix people's eyesight who were once saw it and they're blind. If they're born blind, they can see now. Somebody who has a spinal cord injury. I hope science like that. You got spinal cord injury, like Christopher Reeves did, and God rest his soul. Christopher Reeves had a spinal cord. His spinal cord broke his neck, paralyzed. What happened? Something happened to somebody else, and now in the future they can send AI nanite to go in there and fix the tissue. Bam, he can walk again. He might have might have some issues of nerve damage maybe, but but you can still walk again, right? It's like wow. It's a miracle kind of thing. It's a miracle in a little tube. That's what I think AI should be used for, to advance health and advance people's chances of living normal life, not trying to figure out who can launch the first AI talking head to the moon. To me, it has no sense to me. I don't care. If this stuff comes up and say, hey, they can finally create the longer lasting light bulb that never to be changing, God bless them. They can figure out how to make somebody who's 80 years old live to be 115, 120 years old. God bless them. If you can just surgical repair, go and have nanites go in there and destroy cancer, and just totally destroy it, and even late stage terminal cancer, send the nanites in there to the AI nanites to go in there and destroy it. That is great. Science needs to advance. But we're just doing this just for somebody's wet dream because they want to feel powerful and have control of the planet in their hands. It's silliness. Granted, yes, I'm a fat gamer who complains about the RAM prices for video game uh, for motherboards. But you use RAM in phones. They have processors. They have RAM. They have SSDs. You use, and that's part of the thing too going up too, because these companies are buying these big AI companies are buying RAM and buying SSDs, storages. So and buying processors eventually too as well. So you think about it. Your phone might cost you $4,000 to buy. A new iPhone with all the trimmings might cost you $4,000 with no rebates because AI, hooked into everything. They can't you trust at all. Well, yeah, but now this phone company like Samsung has to start cutting. Even Samsung admitted cutting back, giving their cell phone division less and less SD memory and RAM and processing stuff because they're sending it over to the AI. The AI fun, the fun fest, the AI orgy fest. That's what they're sending it to. They're not sending it to help usher a new era for mankind. They're in it to line their pockets. And you know what? God bless all of them. Make all the money you can. Because I think this could be the 2000, online bubble. If you don't know what I mean, type in 2000 online bubble. And it'll bring up a story about online, people making money offline. And then the bubble burst. And that was traumatic. People put in $100,000, got millionaires, and then a day later, boom, they're back to working at McDonald's. You know, flipping burgers for $5 an hour because they lost everything. Wife left them, took the kids, took the house from them, and now they're making McDonald Happy Meals for kids. I mean that does happen, folks. So I hope the AI is worth it. I hope the AI stuff helps save lives, cures cancer, destroys the AIDS virus. Find out how to to stop dementia, help to prolong life longer, help people who are blind see again, people who are paralyzed walk again. That's not playing God. That's using science to help out. God is science. God created science. So God is everything that He is. So to me personally, using AI to fix someone's, you know, issues with their nerve system or, with their head, with dementia, is not a bad thing. It's a very great thing. But the RAM prices are going to keep going up. So I do believe, in closing, my little ramble about AI there. If you're going to build a PC, you need to building it now or before at least the end of the first quarter of this next year coming up. Because I fear what's going to happen is the prices are going to increase. It's going to get insanity out there, and it's going to be a mess. Well, guys, this is one fat guy's opinion. Uh, Comment down below what you think. You think AI is going to be helpful, or the AI just be a money making scheme? Comment down below. Have you bought any DDR5 RAM in the last few weeks? If you have, how much cost you? Have you started building the PC? Comment that down too as well. I'd like to hear it. Peace out, everybody. God bless you guys. And now I'm on vacation officially. Peace.